Hello and welcome to No One Knows Peter Except You, of course. In this episode of Rocket League Question, the question is there a God? For me personally, there is and there isn't. I've grown up believing that there's a God, but equally I've also grown up with a God not being in my life. So what is it that compels people, in particular me, to believe in this invisible, almighty being that has nothing to do with our visible day-to-day life? Because as much as people believe that, God has relevance in life and things, like, most of the reasons to believe stuff are based on stories that happened thousands of years ago that you had no involvement in. So what's happened is something has been written down in like a Bible, and people have built a church around it, and you're left believing in a God based on things outside of your control. Religion is it is outside your control, and you're there believing in a God because of a religion that had nothing to do with you before you were born, and for some reason it has everything to do with you while you're alive. Because as much as it is nice to believe in a God, because you get benefits like prayer being answered and having miraculous abilities, not quite superpowers, but having some sense of companionship in difficult times, and also life after death is a big one. There's lots of benefits to this supernatural state of being, but nobody has any evidence, any like empirical evidence, people seeing God on earth. There isn't a messiah or anything in particular. So why are people saying that there is? And I think there is something within humans that like to believe in a fantasy, like to believe in some supernatural thing. And I've heard that part of the reason for that is that that these beliefs cause humanity to work together in a big way. So like big beliefs which are intersubjective, that exist because people all agree that it does exist, and if one person was to disagree with that, it would still exist. These intersubjective beliefs like sovereignty of a country, or the currency, that money has value. These are all beliefs that people, they exist not because they have some like hidden truth to the universe, but they exist because people all agree that they do exist. So I think there is a sense that God is one of those beliefs, that it only exists because there are people saying that it does exist. And it's weird how that filters in people's daily lives, that just because loads of people like think that it exists, then it does exist. And I think if there wasn't a sense that you had a family that all believe in a God, then there wouldn't be a sense that that God is real. You like to just fit in, and how this all came about, I don't know. It either came from this God, and people are right in their beliefs, or it came from, it was either created for a reason to control society, or it actually happened, or it just came into, it's a bit bizarre that if God isn't real, that there's a religion based all around it, and millions of people believe in it. Like, I think the answer to the question is there a God? Well, there is a God, the intersubjective God that people agree together to believe. But is God in your life? Have you seen him? And if the answer, have you heard from him? No is the answer to that. For some people, they might be a bit nuts and it might be yes. But I think the main response to whether there's God is God does exist as a concept. But in reality, is he there? Most likely not. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode of Rocket League Question Time. Bye now.